just woke up and I want to get this down before it gets away from me. And I'm not feeling well right now. I'm having a bit of stomach problems. But it's about numbers and how we measure things in time. Our 24-hour day is based on the Mesopotamian or Sumerian base 6 number system. We have 6 times 4 is 24, and it's an even number system. 6 times 6 is 36. It makes our 360-degree circle. It's all about the circle and this number system. Everything we do in counting is time has always been based on this number system for the 24-hour day and the 360-degree circle of the year. But you have the 7 days a week, the 12 times 30 for the 12 months, 30 days, 360, set up like that. Why is it not going away? Oh, yeah, hold on. There we go. I want to use this one. Now, we're going to move to a 5 by 72 for the 360. A different counting system. And it's going to be a base 9. Half of 72 is 36, 18, 9. 9 is odd. And it's the opposite of the 6. 9 and 6 are opposite. Kind of looks like one of the zodiac signs. But that one is based on the 360, and you do the 5-pointed star, and you have the 5 seasons, and each one is 8 times 9 for your 72. 8 days a week, 9 weeks a season, and 5 seasons for your 360. And it's flipped from the base 6 system, but you still get the 360. Now, about the 5th element. Let's do that. Because we've been through this before, and you have air, earth, fire, and water. And these are the original. A lot of times you'll see the air and the earth have the line on the bottom. No. Because air is, its symbol is the first one in the ancient alphabets. It's the Aleph. We kind of see it like that. I'm the Aleph and the Tau. I'm air and fixed cross. I'm the man in the air on the fixed cross. I'm the Aleph and I'm the Tau. And everybody, they want to say ether's the 5th element. No, ether is a word that comes from air as well. There's a lot of words that are translated, especially in the Bible, words like breath and spirit. These all come from the same root, and they're what I call air words. I call it the language of the birds. It's like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John writes in an air element. It's very esoteric. In the beginning was the word, or the symbol, or the image. All things come from it. I have a slightly different take on that myself, because to me, when we're talking about air, earth, fire, and water, this is nature, and that's what the circle is. The zodiac is nature's alchemical circle, and each section is controlled by one of the elements, and 3 different states are 3 crosses. And it's perfect that you can't add a 5th element here. But what makes all of this work, all of this is irrelevant without consciousness. The observer is everything. Consciousness is everything. In the beginning was the thought. It's the idea. You have an image, a logo, a symbol, a thought. You get the light bulb in your head. When you close your eyes and you create these images with your imagination in your mind's eye, you're creating worlds. And to me, the heavens are what we call nature, is where we are the consciousness within the mind of God. The universe is God. We're inside of a big brain. It's dark in here. The night sky is black. The day sky is black too. We just don't see it because we're blinded by the light. But the sky is always black. Now in the number systems, the Mesopotamian, that's feminine. It's an even number. But this is masculine. It's odd. Even the evens and the odds. And we've been taught different. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, I gotta come out of here first. And the symbolism is so important. About the only questions I have left are about the symbols. Everything else makes perfect sense to me in that the zodiac is a magic circle of nature. It's an alchemical magic circle, and this is what nature does. And it recycles itself, and it recreates, and there's a time and a purpose and a season for everything under the sun. Everything gets its time. Now we're in a time that they're trying to hijack time. This goes way back in my videos, all the way back to rolling back time and 3-lock box. You'll find all those videos on Brighteon. And all these time rituals that they do. And that's Saturn or Kronos. I hate even calling him Saturn, because in planetary linguistics even, that name has been changed all over the world. All over the world. All of the planets have different names. In every tongue except Saturn. It's Saturn. That's all we get in today. It's been scrubbed. It's been scrubbed. And a lot of these symbols have been altered from the original state. And if you know them in their original states, then you can understand the alchemy behind it. You can understand the alchemy. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Well, the way my brain works, the first thing that I think of when I hear the word element or elemental, the word ment is from the Greek. We get our word mind. It's mental. It's all mental. And then you have the Ella. The Ella is the Allah is the Illa, like the Iliad. It's the same word. The Iliad is, you add it. It's an addition. It's an addendum that's been added. And those are what we call our myths. Our myths. They're all metaphorical. They're all symbolical. But there's also great the connections in the languages between if you just do it the alchemical way and dump those vowels, you're going to come out with the same letters. So element is the god of the mind, and that is consciousness. The god of the mind. Ella, Allah, Illa. That vowel with the two bars and the vowel. The two pillars. And that's duality. We're in duality. To be the observer, you have to come out of duality to even observe it. You have to be on that middle pillar. And then you can observe the other two pillars. I'm way behind on comments and especially emails. Y'all just going to have to be patient with me. I got a lot going on. But some I have gone through. And a lot of you are real concerned about the election. I've already done these videos. We've talked about this. And what you're observing here is exactly what I told you with this dance between Saturn and Jupiter. And what's been going on. And it's been following that exact pattern with that battle in Sagittarius, the house of ideology, how they both went retrograde and what that meant. And now they're fixing to move out of Sagittarius and into Capricorn, into Saturn's house. And it looks like Jupiter, which is the establishment. Jupiter controls the establishment, but Saturn controls government in Capricorn. So this is a battle of ideologies that's going to form a new government. And right now, it looks like the establishment, Jupiter, has the upper hand. And it will straight through the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. Because Jupiter is going to eclipse Saturn and try to steal the crown. Jupiter's the usurper. When he comes in front of Saturn, let me pull up Stellarium. Hold on. I have a new download of Stellarium, and I haven't tweaked it yet. It's got a really bad lag in it, and it's way updated from my other Stellarium download, and I'm not real happy with it. I think I might pitch it and just clone mine over to this one off my other drive. But right now we have this dance that's been going on, and we've watched it go back and forth, and what it appears to be. And from the observer's point of view, it looks like Saturn's on the run, trying to get back in his own house, and Jupiter is closing ranks. But then he's going to eclipse. When Jupiter eclipses Saturn on the solstice, oops, I'm ahead, there we go, 12:21, and it happens in the morning, in the ancient tradition, well, let me say this first, because this is a rare one. This is such a rare great conjunction that happens every 20 years. It's a generational marker that sets the stage. To me, in studying alchemy and art, especially in Catholic iconography, this is the first thing that really stood out among all Catholic iconography, whether it was Byzantine or just through the ages. It's been the symbolism of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunctions. And when that happens, it looks like Jupiter has wings. It don't happen every time like this. But right now, when a planet goes retrograde, it's its closest point to Earth. And both of these planets just went on this retrograde dance this past year. Let's back it up to 2019. Here's the winter solstice 2019. And, well, let me bring it around. We have Saturn here and Jupiter here. They've been doing this for a whole year. And Jupiter's just come into his house. And here's Saturn all up in Jupiter's house. Now, this age is run by Jupiter. So even though he's the establishment, Jupiter has been in control of the government. This is his age. He rules everything, Mercury and Jupiter. So this whole year, that's the winter solstice last year. Let me just do it day by day. We've watched this dance between the two. A heavenly waltz, and the different characters that come through and change it up a little bit. This is March, April. Saturn's going to go into his own house. Jupiter's going to come right back on it. And here we go back retrograde. All this corona, all about Capricorn, the crown, Saturn's crown. Saturn's rings are considered his crown. It's all about the crown chakra, the higher self. Here's October. We're coming into now. November. And this is a rare occurrence because one, they just came out of retrograde and they're their closest point to Earth. Both of them. So you can literally see this conjunction with the naked eye. You don't even need a telescope to observe it. It's going to be that bright. And this is what I call the Nibiru effect. They've been telling you how long about Nibiru? Well, that's Jupiter in conjunction with Saturn when it's at its closest point to Earth. And it only happens every few hundred. This conjunction to where they've come out of a retrograde and they're at this close hasn't happened in a long time. And a few hundred years. But for them to do it in Saturn's house has been a long time. And for that to be on a winter solstice, 3.5 years at a halfway point between two eclipses, unheard of. That's why this is so crazy. So right now, even up through the conjunction, it's going to appear the establishment has the upper hand. But as soon as Jupiter is no longer eclipsing Saturn, he's not wearing the crown anymore. And he's in immediate debilitation by the first of the year in Saturn's house. So just hang on. This is fixing to get crazier as it goes along, because even when this occurs right here, now we have the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius still pushing ideology. We get a break from that. There. We can even back it up. We get the break starting about there, the 19th, when the Sun's going to move into be in Capricorn. I'm going to do a video on the dates because the Vedic has changed because of the 13th sign, and its wheel has kind of stopped too. But the names of the stars tell you where you begin one sign and leave another. And I can't wait till we get to the New Jerusalem, which is the new zodiac coming down out of heaven. The sun is the groom, and the zodiac is the New Jerusalem. And as above, so below. So they're going to build a city here as well. The New World Order, or the Order of the New World, is what we really need, which we're going to get. We're going to get, because all of this that's going down, it's all fake and imitation. It's all under Jupiter, and he's faux pas. He's the usurper. He's not really royalty. He's not even a master. The most Jupiter or Mercury ever achieve is the adept or the mutable, but you need that for the change. It's part of nature, for them to run through the elements. They are the catalyst for the transmutation. Or we don't evolve, we mutate, we transmutate. And we can't grow without that transmutation. We would just forever be the same. But we're going to get a new circle. To me, this is the base 6 circle. It's just as Sumerian, Babylonian. There's some of everything in here. Just all over the world. There's a piece of every myth tale ever told here. And the only tales that are ever told are these tales. We've been in fish tales. And you know, fish tales, when the fisherman goes fishing, they always tell you the Moby Dick story about the one that got away. And that's why Moby Dick is going to be almost a Bible in the next age. As far as classics, because they call me Ishmael for a reason. All right. So, 5th element is the consciousness. Some people want to claim it's love. No, love is an emotion. Consciousness is experiencing. It's only an experience. Love is not what we think it is anyway. So much of what people call love is ridiculously nothing but lust of the flesh. You're just having an alchemical reaction of the flesh, a hormonal alchemical reaction of the flesh. And you think that's love. That's lust. Even the butterflies, even the little butterflies that happens, the puppy love, or that crush, infatuation, that's really, so much flesh. Because love is, wow, so much different than that. It's a giving thing. It's a verb. It's something you do, not something you feel. It's something you are. It's a state of being, is what it is. I forget which is one of the books in Corinthians. 13, 15, something like that, defines that love is long-suffering. So that means love suffers. It hurts. Real love is about suffering, not feeling good, not happiness. Although when you love and you're giving, even though you suffer, you find, if you're benefiting that other, you find great joy in that. A lot of people, they like to get things. They like gifts and surprises, when the real joy is in the giving, not the getting. To put that smile on somebody else's face. That way you can vicariously experience happiness through the other person. It's the experience. We're here for the experience. This is hands-on. We're at Life 101. There are 101 constellations, including the one we're in. We're the 5th element. We're the consciousness that makes this circle go round and round and round, because we observe it. It's like the all-seeing eye. When you look at it, it's looking at you. Reminds me of is it Colin Hayes' song, Are You Looking at Me? So the dance here, fear not, is going to get more chaotic. And remember, this is just the halfway point. This whole thing is it's a great seal that's being created in the sky. and it's projecting itself down here on the Earth. This is the stage, and it's a projection down here. So what goes on up there is going on down here. In Jupiter, that's Rome. That's the establishment. It's the aristocracy. It's the aristocracy if you want to think Roman. And yeah, the Saturn would be the rightful royalty, and they're the usurpers. And like when they coup d'etat Julius Caesar, that's a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. And I bet you if you look back in history, it's like Christ died at an eclipse. The sun went black 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Tells you that in the New Testament. An eclipse occurred that day. So you can look back from that city, or to me, which is not really where it is, but you can look back and through time, and you know that it had to be on a day that it occurred in an eclipse at a certain hour, at the 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It even tells you what time of day it happened in a certain location. And with Stellarium, we can do that. We can do that. But just hang on to your horses. Reach down and pull your britches up. The shit's getting deep. But it's just going to keep getting crazier because this is a battle. But yeah, Saturn wins this. This is Saturn's house. He's in power now. He became in power Kabbalistically about 5 years ago on a 36-year cycle, to where they all get so much time in ruling one area. And now he's taking control through the next 20 years on this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, because it's happened in his house. And the next 20 years is going to be about government and about new government and a more Saturnalian government. But it's a transition. Everything is a transition. This is just a huge ritual that's going down. It's going down in the heavens, and it's going down here. And we're watching it play out on the world stage. And for a lot of us, it is evoking emotions, Mars. It's especially with the rainbow flag upside down, you have the red on top. And it's evoking the chakra emotion of Mars that's supposed to be on the bottom. The red chakra is on the bottom, the root. The root is the emotions. All right, let's pull it back to now, because that's not where we're at. We still have Mars retrograde in Pisces. He's on the mutable cross, so emotional instability, bipolar, back and forth, those highs, lows, no middle grounds, depression. It's affected me terribly. It's just been awful for me. I can't wait. And even when he comes out of retrograde, in just a few days, before he's still in his shadow period, and we're going to go over the same freaking ground all the way through the eclipse, because he's going to be here. And this is Rome right here. This is the Vatican, the star right here, Aureshka. And they venerate Mars and Jupiter. Mars and Jupiter have always been the gods of Rome. If you've studied Roman mythology, you'll get that. The aristocracy and their wars. But in this age, Mercury plays a part too, which is commerce. So they've always put their faces on their coins. It's all about the change. Chump change, right? Chump change. Every time they're going to give you change. And that's the word game they play on us. Like, you think you have a Bill of Rights. RIGHT. There's no such freaking thing. It's an RITE. And let's throw some magic in front of it, and then you see the real right. That's like the Kunite, that silent K, that silent W. All right, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. I wanted to talk about the elements and the numbers. It was the wheel and the numbers, and how we've been on base 6 looking at time. And we need to look at, and that's actually more of a lunar thing than even a solar thing. But we're going to be moving to a base 9, looking at it from 8 days a week, 9 weeks a season, 5 seasons a year. You get the 360-degree circle. Let me do that one more time so there's no confusion there, because our year is 365, and that's why this one works. You have the 360-degree circle, and each point will be a holiday or a holy day or a celebration or a vacation, a veneration, a ritual to lead you into the next season. And we'll have the 4 elements and then consciousness, because our third eye is going to be open. And we'll be ruled by our higher selves in the age of Aquarius. Right now, everything's ruled by Jupiter, which is your desires and your ideology and your religion. He rules religion, ideology, and desire. And empire, expansion, which is where we get the word España, or Spain, is just a derivative of an ancient name of Jupiter. All right. I think I've covered what I wanted to cover. Let me pause for a second and let my brain catch up and make sure. Okay, yeah, some things I wanted to reminded to tell you. Always remember, get your symbolism straight. We only have a few weeks left till this goes down. You want a rainbow flag with purple on top. And somebody sent me, they were doing their graphic arts and sent me the rainbow with the purple on top. And that they had created their own as a desktop. What a brilliant idea to have every time you turn your computer on or a screensaver, you have that rainbow flag there. Great place to have it. Excellent place to have that, especially as much time as people spend on their computers or phones. Get your screensavers or whatever, wherever you can do it. Rainbow flag, purple on top. Great to have. Symbols of heaven and earth. Instead of that water and fire symbols, you want and you want to do them like this too, without that bottom, because those aren't there in the ancient alchemy for a reason. If you put the bottom here, you have too many lines. It changes the alchemy. In heaven, in fire, we're in fire and water, and they've combined them. We're actually in this kind of an age. That's the same thing as the Cairo right there, because they've usurped it. And they have that fire and water as one. And we've talked about this so much. And this is a bad symbol to have right now. You want these two symbols. And in here, the fire symbol that's controlling the X, the bottom, this is us, we're the bottom feeders, right? We're all on the bottom. And then the elite are at the top. And they've even lifted their self above us. They're trying to take out the middle class. So there's only the bottom, and then empire, aristocracy at the top, the aristocracy. But here, there is no bottom. There is no middle class or bottom class. Everybody's at the top. They brought the bottom up. And right now, they're trying to make us all down here. And we want to be here. And so everybody's up here. There is nobody down here. There is no poverty. There is no homeless. None of that. But they want to sell you a bag of goods and tell you that this is that. They're usurpers. They're stealing the symbols. They're altering the symbols. And this go round, this is going to manifest from the collective subconscious for the 20-year generational, and mostly from those of you with Pluto and Virgo. It's your time. This is the time of your visitation. Don't let the thief rob you. You're warned now. I've been warning you for 10 years. Not so much about Pluto and Virgo, only for the last 5 years have I understood that part of it. But just stay in the middle pillar. Be the observer. Don't be a part of this battle. Just watch it and have great expectations of what you be sure and clear in your being of what you would like to manifest for the next 20 years for yourself. And I don't care if the whole world's falling apart around you. You do you. You let the world do what the world's going to do. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Give unto God what is God's. And we've been through that too, how there are many gods. But I'm with the red words. And the red words is our Father who art in heaven. And that's over here. Not in that battle of fire and ice. Not on those two pillars. Alright, what else do I want to tell you? Oh, yeah, last video about the flash drives. Yeah, it kind of went sideways. There were so many comments that the few people who did leave their emails, I don't even think you can find it. There was just too many comments on that page. So what I would like for you to do is, if you received one and you want to be or can be an anchor, what you need to do is send me an email. And with an email address you want to use for this. My advice after what it's done to my email is I advise you to make a new email account just to receive chart requests. That way your personal email doesn't get overrun, because it can happen. I'm just witnessing now. And I'll do a video about what I'm going to call the final flash drive video. And I will post the country and the email address in the description box. That way they can just open the description box and see what country and then have an email address there. So anchors, please send me an email address that you would like to use for receiving flash drive requests. And that way they don't even have to contact me anymore. They can go to the flash drive video and hit the description box and grab the link they need. And that's the way out of this mess. That is, we're going to get some order out of the chaos. And that's exactly what this is about right here. And that's why they're playing this card so hard right now. Because there's fixing to be order, one way or the other, out of all this chaos. And you know what happens when order is initiated. A lot of people I don't think they understand what's coming. And there's a lot of censorship right now. There's a lot of purging going on. And that all of that reaction, that comes from fear. That comes from fear. There's a fear frenzy, hate and anger and all of that. Don't do that. If you do that, you're going to manifest it for the next 20 years for yourself. You need to overcome it, rise above it, whatever you got to do when this conjunction goes down. Because that's just the way it is. This is what we've been doing to ourselves. And we're being emotionally manipulated so that the aristocracy can have a great time for the next 20 years while we're put underfoot. And we don't need that right now. But we don't need to go back to the past either. The past wasn't that great. We don't need to roll back time anymore. We need to move into the future. And that's going to take courage. That's not going to take faith or not even hope. That's going to take courage. And when I opened my third eye and I was told I had to go back and I didn't want to go, but he touched my heart, and that for the love of others, not for self, that I decided to stay. And I was given a gift of courage. I'd never had courage like that before. I was such a broken child. I was so beat down. But I'd never had courage like that before. And really haven't since. But I can tap into it. I know what it feels like. I can remember it. And yeah, we need courage. You're just going to have to dig into yourself and find that place in your memories and get that courage. Speaking of memories, it's so much more important what you put into your mind than what you put into your body. What you put into your body is just going to feed your body and keep it alive till you're not using it anymore. But what you put into your mind, you're going to take with you. Because when you shed this body, you remember everything. You do a life review and nothing is forgotten, not even the smell of the pancakes in the morning. You're going to re-experience it all. So make good memories. And right now with Uranus in cardinal fire, purge what goes into your mind. If all of this crap on TV about election and all pandemic and all that's affecting you, stop watching it. If you can't emotionally handle it, if you ain't got Mars under control, if you've got Mars and your emotions under control, you can just walk through that fire. It don't faze you. It's like Nerf bullets. They're just going to bounce off of you. But if you're not emotionally stable, then don't expose yourself to it. Because you want to make good memories to take with you. Because that's all you're going to have. Not going to be taking this mortality is going to put on immortality. I've got my light body. I've been out of my body. I've got two bodies. I don't know if we're just come in like that or you have to manifest it. But if thine eye be single, the whole body will be full of light. All right, people, I think that's it. Those of you who want to be an anchor, send me an email with an email address you want to use. And I'd like to thank everybody that donates to this channel, that's going to be a part of the flash drive thing and pay it forward. You're building up good karma. And we're fixing to have to spend some of those karma bucks we've been saving. We'll have to spend that. Everybody's in a frenzy. Bitcoin's taking off again. You can about watch Bitcoin, which is really Mercury, right? Mercury. You can watch Bitcoin and what it's doing, and it's kind of like a feeler to show what people feel when they become unsure about the markets. They don't know what's fixing to happen next. They start dumping into Bitcoin. It'll start going up, and it's took a little bump in the past few weeks. So yeah, everybody's looking for at least they're looking into the future, which is better than living in the past. Even though sometimes it's good to be able to do that, to go back into your childhood and, your natal chart. When you're looking at your natal chart, you're really looking at the first 30 years of your life. Really the first 15, because it's who you were as a child, even though your whole life's wrapped up in it. But you can always go back and grab that. All right. Y'all know what to do. Be the kindness. Just be love and kindness for the next few weeks. And it'll pay off for you for 20 years. And that's an investment you can't afford not to make.